So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and we're in the Golden Age again. This is More Fun Comics number 69, published in July 1941, and this story is called The Shadow Killer. Shadow Killers. As Kent Nelson, he attends a house party with Inza. So again, we're still sticking, and this is permanent, that we're with Kent Nelson again, where most of the early, or all of the early stories, never showed that he had an alternate identity, a human identity, and we're also still at 10 pages. Our host is quite a well-known traveler. You may have heard of him, Everett Dahlem. He's the one who explored the haunted region of the Sahara. So they hear a sound and they go in, and Everett is dead with no marks of violence. They spot a shadow, someone in the shadows, and take pursuit, but this character is literally a shadow, and he cannot touch him at all. So Kent Nelson, or as Dr. Fate, he kind of describes the history of shadows and mythologies behind it up here. And so the story moves to a laboratory near New York City. If my shadow maker works as I think it has, I'll be the greatest criminal known to history. And so the shadow man comes in and he turns him back into a normal human being. He is a criminal that this scientist has hired to do his dirty work. And so he tells him that he killed Dahlem. And we get a little backstory of why he wanted to kill Dahlem. They both found a ruby, and this fellow knocked out, his name is Ian Karkull. I'm not sure if the story has said that yet. And so turns out Ian Karkull was a brilliant scientist, and this fellow here did not know that. So he wants revenge. This is a continuing theme with Gardner Fox and the Dr. Fate stories, which is a scientist who wants revenge. But oftentimes they take revenge and then the story just continues to go on. Like, I got my revenge, now I'm going to just do evil. So the criminals decide, well, we're going to control this situation. And Ian Karkull just laughs at him and says, no, I'm in charge here. And they pretty much just back down. You've got brains, Karkull. We're for you. You get a half, we get the rest, okay? So it doesn't seem like a bad deal. He gets half, and the three of them split what's left. So Dr. Fate is consulting the White Onyx and locates Ian Karkull. And then he travels there. Looks like he's just stepping out. So he travels there and witnesses, he uses an invisible force screen so they can't see him. And he watches Ian Karkull change the three criminals into shadows as they enter into the federal bank. I'm always amazed that scientists in comics come up with these incredible inventions and then they just use them for crimes. But yeah, you could use it to make money other ways, I guess. So Dr. Fate tries to capture them, but of course he cannot because they are shadows. And they do kind of say, well, how are we going to get the money out if we're shadows? But Ian Karkull has planned for that. He has timed it out so that he knows when they're going to be in the vault, changes them back into humans. We ain't shadows no more. I'll bet that cagey Karkull had a hand in this. Come on, I'll open the vault now. So they grab the money, and then they are changed back into shadows. What I tell you, even the dough is a shadow. Let's get out of here. So good for Gardner Fox and creating a fairly airtight story. Dr. Fate shows up, or he reveals himself, and Ian Karkull apparently has another weapon. He pulls a lever and a beam of light strikes. Now, Dr. Fate has been shown in the past to be completely invulnerable, but this beam is able to knock him on his butt. Fool, you think you could best the great Ian Karkull? Ha ha! You should have been blown to fragments, though. Oh, they're back. So even though Dr. Fate is still alive, um, apparently this ray was extraordinarily powerful. So they have the money there, and Ian and the criminals seem to be getting along. A lot of times there's like fighting, but not in this case. So Dr. Fate gets up. I don't know why he left him just sitting there. He's alive. Look. Yep. I don't like when he talks like this because it makes him seem a little silly. And believe me, the series is going to get way worse. You bet your sweet life I'm alive and I'm coming for you. When I get through with you, you'll wish you'd never tried any of this shadow stuff. I'm not shadow boxing now, boys. So he just kind of knocks him around. Guy tries to stab him to no effect. Ian Karkull again tries to hit him with the beam, but instead hits one of his associates with a beam. It blew him to fragments. It would have been interesting to see, but I guess we have to be careful in the comics. So let's see. Dr. Fate, I guess, destroys the machine, and Ian Karkull decides, well, I'm going to become a shadow, then you can't catch me. But he destroys the machine that can change him back into human. Although if he's a shadow, I'm not sure how he would have operated the machine anyway. I like this. Exactly as a shadow, you can't harm me. Ho, ho, ho. No, no, no. You can't do that. My hands can't touch you. I can't touch anything unless I'm materialized. Now it's my turn to say exactly. A man with your genius could have made a name for himself as a useful citizen. Very true. Instead, you chose to lead a criminal life. As a shadow, you will wander through the world forever helpless. No, no. There goes a homeless, landless shadow. Let him reflect on his misdeeds, alone and friendless. Oh. But will Karkull remain forever friendless? Watch for the return of the arch-villain and the manner in which he and Dr. Fate fight their last and greatest struggle in the next issue of More Fun Comics. In the next issue? Yeah, I guess it is the next issue. All right, so Ian Karkull will return. And he's a good villain. And returns again in some retro con stories that I'll show next time from the 1980s.